So the strength and mobility training not only gives you the fitness, but it can also help you prevent injuries and overload, which is really important as we're doing a lot of the same training day after day. As you can imagine, a lot of times we're riding on our bike, either if it's mountain bike or road cycling, and we have a lot of problems with the upper back, maybe a little bit with the lower back. So we're going to put some strength exercises and a little bit of mobility in the upper part of the body. Also, when you're seated on the bike, we have a lot of times the same position, because we sit a lot of times. So you might have a short hip flexor, short hamstring, which can give a lot of problems with your lower back. Also, when we're seated in the office, we have some of the same problems. We're just here in front of the computer, bad position, also with the legs up. So we have the same problem with the hip flexor, hamstring, lower back, weak upper back. And we just want to make sure that we can actually get a good posture. But I do recommend that you can go for a brisk walk, maybe 5 to 10 minutes before you start, or even just do some dynamic movements of the arms, something like this. You can also just do a small jog on the place, just to get the blood running. We're going to start doing squats. I'm also going to add arms to make sure that we work the upper part of the back. You will also probably feel it a little bit in the lower back if you have a lack of mobility. So raise your arms, lean forward so you can bend the knees a little bit. Try to get as far down as possible. If you don't reach the floor, no problem. We're just warming up. Come down in a squat. You might already feel that this is quite difficult because of lacking mobility in the hip. Coming back up, raise your arms. Going to do the same once again. Now, if you would like to add a little bit more of intensity, you can try to raise your arms already here. If you want to work a little bit more on the front part of your thighs, the quadriceps, you can have the feet a little bit more narrow. You should always have the knees and the toes pointing in the same direction. If you open up your feet a little bit more, knees and toes pointing out, you're going to be working a little bit more the glutes. All of these muscles are involved in the cycling. What is important is to keep your knees and your toes in the same direction. Now I'm going to add arms to also work the upper body. So first level, you come down, raise the arms. If your knees are a little bit in front of the toes, it doesn't really matter, but you want to keep your back straight. Coming back up, you're going to do 10, 12 repetitions. And if you want to add more intensity for your back, try to raise your arms, but maintain the back straight. Normally the struggle is to come down and you will be like this. Try to raise the arms and extend the back. So we talked about how this squat is great for the legs, that you have different positions. If you want to work more the front and the quadriceps or more the glutes in the back. Now we add the arms, not only for mobility, but as you remember on the bike, we are seated like this a little bit, and we want to make sure that we have the strength in the back to keep a good posture. So you can either add arms here, which starts activating the muscles, or you can add the higher level, which will activate the muscles all from your back around the spine down to your lower back. We're going to continue with the squat, but this time we're going to add mobility. Not only for your hip that we talked about before, but also for your upper body to involve a little bit more the core and to be able to, especially in the mountain bike, when we have all of a sudden change of direction or we suddenly have to do a drop or something like that, we start going down in a squat as far down as possible. Maybe in the beginning you can only get until here. Stay there, no problem, because you might have a lack of mobility and you can't get any further. You're going to feel it burn more in the legs in this position, so you might not be able to keep this position for so long. When you get more mobility, you will be able to come further down. Place your arms on the inside of the knees and push out to open the hip, and you will also feel it in the muscles in the back as you keep the back straight. Now, if you want to add a little bit more of rotation and core work, try to get even further down and add a rotation with your arm. You come back to the same position, rotation, you're going to feel it all around your back, also a little bit in the waist. To relax your legs, come up, relax a little bit and come back down. Push the knees out, add the rotation. Great to be prepared in any kind of situation, both on the road and on the mountain bike. And back to the start position. Next level of the mobility squat, we're also going to add a stretch for the hamstring. So you know the drill. Down, into the squat, rotation to add some core work and mobility work in the upper body. Now, try to maintain your hands as low as possible. We extend the legs. We come back down to the squat, mobility, rotation, upper body. We add the hamstring stretch. Well, I've been training and practicing this for a while, so I train mobility and flexibility almost every day. But the normal thing is to, when you do the mobility squat, only come down until here. And we already stop, and you will feel how far you can go because of your back, because your back will start curving. So what you really want to do is to try to come up and push your knees out to the side and get your back straight. And then bit by bit, as you gain mobility, you will be able to come further down. Maybe to the point that you can actually touch your feet and maintain the back straight. So if you're able to come here, now do the same. Push your knees out and try to do the rotation from here. What you really want to maintain is your back straight. Maybe you can only get until here the first time, no problem. Bit by bit, you're going to gain mobility. Now, the hamstrings. What normally happens is that you get here and it starts feeling all the tension in the hamstring. Don't worry, you can just come up a little bit to your back, and what we normally do is to maintain the back a little bit curved. Now, in this position, you could try to extend the back and you will feel already the hamstring tighten again. And then bit by bit, you will be able to reach down further when you gain flexibility. Now, when you're working flexibility and mobility, you want to keep each posture a little bit more than just 2 seconds. So maybe 10-15 seconds in each position. We all need a better posture. We all need to be able to maintain a good position on the bike. We need the strength and the mobility. So I do recommend this to all the riders, from those who just go out for the fun in the weekend and those that ride the high competition level.